beautiful souls. Hi, Alison here, also known as Indigo River. A wee bit more about that later in the video. And today I'm just going to have a wee chat. This is the first video in my series of cosmic chats. Wee chats about weird and wonderful things. And today I thought I would chat about being indigo, about childhood experiences of being an indigo or a starseed or a crystal or a rainbow. So I'm just going to share a few childhood experiences that I had that were kind of weird, if you like. And what I would really like is for you to share in the comments any experiences that you had as a child that were weird. And to see if any of my experiences resonate with you, if you have any shared ones, or I'm just curious and interested, really interested to know of the weird childhood experiences that you have had as well. So please do put them in the comments. Thank you. So yeah, I am a very early indigo. I was born way back in 1955. A wee bit more about that later. But suffice to say, I, for as long as I can remember, never felt right. Never felt like I belonged on this planet, if you like. And when my earliest memories are when I was about 3-4 years old, and I know I was that age because that was the period that we lived in my grandmother's house. And these early experiences all took place in my grandmother's house. And the earliest memory I have of anything being weird, now I don't think this is weird now that I know what it is, but at the time it used to puzzle me. I used to spend what seemed like hours, it's probably just minutes, 4 years old, in front of the mirror, staring into my own eyes, wondering where I was. You know, because I knew that I wasn't this body wasn't me. And I used to think, I remember thinking, why am I trapped in here? Why am I in this body? Where am I within this body? And I remember staring into the mirror, staring into my own eyes, trying to find myself, you know, if you like, trying to see, like, where am I? I'm in here somewhere, but where am I? And I actually remember asking my mother, I remember saying to my mother once, you know, Mummy, where am I? How did I get in here? That was it, how did I get in here? And I remember her saying, oh, you came in the door or whatever, something stupid like that. And me getting really frustrated because she wasn't understanding, she wasn't getting my meaning. And I remember stamping my feet and saying, well, how did I get in here? And I can't remember what she said, but she dismissed me anyway. She never explained it to me. And I never understood. Never. And I remember it constantly came up for me in my childhood, thinking, you know, that I'm in this body and how did I get in here? So that was the earliest thing I remember. And then I remember shadow people. Yeah? In my bedroom in my grandmother's house. I'd go to my bed at night and I would see all these shadows walking round the walls. All these people walking round my bedroom walls. And it was like, and they were all different, like different heights, and some were fatter and thinner, and they were just different shadows walking around my walls. And they used to frighten me. They really scared me. And I would scream, and my mother would come through, what is it, what's wrong? And I would tell her, and she would say to me, oh, don't be silly, it's just the shadows of the people walking past in the street, it's just the street lights, shadows. And I believed her, but in retrospect, knowing what I know now, I mean, it was a quiet residential street with bungalows, 1959, you know, there wasn't exactly hordes of people walking up and down the street. So yeah, I used to see these shadow people, and then later on I've seen shadow animals and things as well, but that's another story for another video maybe. So yeah, there was that, and then there was also the thing around that time as well that I started to be aware of. Every time I closed my eyes, seeing this vivid indigo blue colour. Now I didn't know it was indigo, It was just a very, very deep, vivid blue. And I remember talking to my mother about it, and I was starting to learn colours, and she would say, oh, it's blue, and I would look at the colour blue and like, no, that's not it, it's deeper than that, that's not it. And then I remember in primary school when we got taught all the different shades of the colours and being given the colour indigo, and it totally resonated as, that's it, that's the colour I see whenever I close my eyes, this indigo blue. Well, not every time, but quite often when I close my eyes, that's what I would see. And the other weird thing about this was that not only did I see the colour indigo, but the colour actually had a smell. It actually had its own smell. When I saw the colour, I would smell this really poignant, sweet smell that I can't really quite describe because it's something I haven't ever smelled in the physical, if that makes sense. But very much I would describe it as maybe kind of like sort of jasmine, honeysuckle, but very sweet, flowery, floral smell. And to me, it was the smell of that colour. That colour had that smell, which maybe sounds very strange as well. And so that was the other thing. When I was looking in the mirror, when I used to look at, looking at my eyes trying to see where I was, quite often I would see little coloured orbs around my head, like wee blobs of colour. I know what that is now, but I would see these wee blobs of colour, and quite often it was indigo, and sometimes it was green, sometimes it was violet, purple, yellow even, and all different colours around my head. So that to me as a child was a bit strange and frightening. And what was really frightening was, I remember, I think I was maybe about 8 or 9 years old, looking in the mirror one time and actually seeing spirit, a ghost, a face behind me. And it was like a misty, kind of like you see a ghost, spirit. It was like a misty face behind my head. And that scared me. That really did scare me at the time. And another experience I had in my grandmother's house, again, as I say, 4 years old, I had gone to my bed at night, and there appeared at the bottom of my bed a life-size, a woman, an older woman with grey hair, silver hair, long silver hair, and she was wearing green, and she had these massive green wings, and she was hovering. She was a fairy, a life-size older fairy, and she was hovering at the bottom of my bed. And she looked really, really angry, and she was glaring at me, and she started shouting at me, and I've never forgotten this. It was so vivid. And her words, and she said to me, she said, "What have you done?" She said, "You stupid girl. You should never have come here. Why have you come here? You'll have a terrible life. A terrible life. You stupid girl." And then she just disappeared, vanished. Whoosh. Like in films, literally, whoosh. And I remember at the time being a wee bit sort of awestruck, but I wasn't actually, she didn't really frighten me when she was talking, but when she disappeared, maybe it was a delayed reaction, I don't know, but it was when she sort of disappeared, I screamed. Oh boy, did I scream. And my mother came through, and of course it was put down to a dream. And I'll admit, in retrospect, maybe it was a vivid, very vivid dream, but at the time, to me, it was real. It was very, very real, very vivid, very strong, very real. And I also remember an elderly gentleman that lived, it was one of our neighbours, lived in our stair. I was brought up in a stair later on after I left my grandmother's. And this older gentleman, my mum used to stop and talk to him, and I always used to see this, it was like smoke. I know now it was his, I know what it's all about now, but this was as a child. I used to see this dark grey smoke all around this man. And I never, and I remember saying to my mother about it, and I remember her saying, "Oh, Mr. Johnston's not very well. Maybe that's what you're seeing." And I thought, what does she mean by that? Because my mum was actually she was religious, But she did have a slight, even though she dismissed a lot of my things, my weird things, she did have some sort of spiritual, what's the word I'm looking for? A wee bit of understanding of some spiritual concepts, let's just say. And I think she understood that I was talking about his aura. I think she got that. Because she said to me, he's very ill. But I didn't understand this. I was thinking about 8 or 9 or something. I was thinking, how does that mean he's ill if he's got... Do people have this smoke around them when they're ill and things like that? And yeah, sadly, the gentleman actually passed away a few days after I saw that grey smoke around his body. So yeah, shadow people, faces in mirrors, indigo, and the smell, and the vivid dreams, and the fairy at the bottom of my bed. Just some of the experiences that I had, and just not feeling that I belonged in this body and wondering where I was. So I'm going to stop there because that's some younger childhood stuff. And yeah, please put in the comments any experiences you've had and if any of these resonate with you. And please like and please subscribe if you can. So because I'm going to do lots more of these chats. And they're going to get weirder and weirder as we go on, I promise. In the meantime, just a brief statement about the name. My name of my body is Alison Lowther. My soul name, not my soul, I am soul. My true name is Indigo River. That resonates because the indigo, and I love the word indigo, which we've just talked about, and I love the word river. I love rivers. I live on the riverbank, hence the name of my business, River Healer. And I love the word river. I love how it's onomatopoeic. It kind of flows, you know, you've got the R at each end and you've got the V in the middle. So Indigo River feels right for me and resonates for me. What is your soul name? Do you have a soul name? You do. We all do. What I mean is, have you identified your soul name? If you haven't, maybe give it some thought. Well, not thought. Tune into your heart. Feel it. Feel your name. What resonates with you? Nature, colours, animals. Feel your soul name. And share it. Share it in the comments. I'd love to know. Okay. I'm going to stop now because I do have a tendency to ramble. I've been Indigo River, also known physically as Alison Lowther. I hope you've enjoyed this chat. I'll be back again soon with more, and much love and blessings to you all. Namaste. Thank you for listening.